We'd rather you didn't walk on the beds, thank you. Even with actually, I'm afraid the stones are only just put there to look nice, but thank you. This is pineapple.
Oh, okay.
We've only ever had one pineapple grow on it once and the kids ripped it off.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That is the problem.
So it just grows from the ground?
It comes up in a stick
right.
in the centre, and the stick is attached on the bottom there.
Oh, yeah.
Stay. And then this is cassava, and that's another one that's full of cyanide.
Oh, what is that from Africa?
Well, it's actually one of those that grows pan-tropically. It grows all over the world. It's the roots that are eaten, but it has to be cooked very, very carefully. Because it's so full of cyanide, they eat it for the starch. They have to cook it with the lid off. They peel it like potatoes and then dice it. And then they boil it several times. If they boil it with the lid on, the cyanide stays in the water and actually gets stronger. So if they boil it with the lid off, the cyanide turns to gas and disappears. I actually made a mistake. I wanted to have this in. I had no idea how fast this would grow. It's shot up, and unfortunately we can't demonstrate the roots to people because it goes so quickly. And then this is the patchouli again. This is turmeric.
Oh, okay. So interesting. No.
Yes, that's right.
Not in a jar. But
No. And then here, of course, we've got ginger.
Oh.
Now, what you can do, if you want to try this in class, if you get a ruche of ginger from the supermarket, leave it in the living room where it's warm, and quite perhaps moist. It will root. Now, I actually, one Christmas, I had some ruche of ginger in my fridge, and the fridge broke down, and it was warmer inside the fridge than it was actually outside in the flat, and it rooted when I came back. So if you keep it and let it root, you can stick it in the bottom. It has to be a big pot because it spreads quite quickly. And you can grow your own ginger in school. It'll be quite fun watching it turn it, and you get these leaves.
Oh, yeah.
And you can grow it, and after a couple of years, you can actually empty it out and take the ginger.
And it's the roots, so it's underneath.
Yes, it's the roots that you use. If you have children who suffer particularly from motion sickness or travel sickness, it's fantastic. It is very strong.
Yeah.
But it's marvellous if you have a bit before you go on a journey. It stops you from feeling sick.
Oh.
Also, I'm lactose intolerant, so there's lots of things I can't take because they've got milk in them.
Yeah.
So if I've got a cold or something, I can't take lemon sip. It upsets me.
Oh,
so what I'll do is I'll grind up some ginger, put honey in it, and boiling water. It's really warming and makes you feel so much better. And then we've got the pepper on the ground again, the ordinary pepper. A lot of people who have the Swiss cheese plant indoors don't realise quite how big it can get.
Yeah, my mum, like years ago, like in the 80s, I remember having him in the house.
Absolutely.
So it's
and of course, although it still does have the drip tip, it's not a very big drip tip.
Oh, but it's still, yeah.
And then you can see the poultry there now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, lovely.
Hopefully that one can't be reached. Now some of the palms can be really nasty.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see there. And in fact, if you look carefully, you can see the spines are right up through the central vein.
Oh, yes.
This will get much bigger. This is part of the understory.
Right.
It's from the southeastern US. The Latin is Dieffenbachia, named after a German botanist. The common name is dumb cane.
Oh, right.
Because this one, no marks to what it doesn't try to keep off caterpillars. It doesn't bother with poison. This is a member of a family, all of whom, including the Swiss cheese plant, all of whom have teensy weensy little crystals in the leaves, tiny. You can't see them with the naked eye. But if you were to eat any part of this plant, it would tear your vocal cords. Might not stop you speaking forever.
She's tear your vocal cords. Wow.
And what happened was when they were bringing people out of Africa by force 300 or 400 years ago to work on the cotton plantations in America, some of the more ruthless plantation owners would actually cut up bits of this plant and put it in the food of the slaves, so that it did stop them answering him back. And they would probably recover, but very, very nasty.
Would you get your voice back after the...
Depends how much you ate. If you ate quite a lot of it, no. It could damage it forever.
Yes.
It doesn't kill you.
Yes.
But it can be very, very nasty, and hence the name dumb cane.
Yeah.
So that's another way, you know, it demonstrates to the children. I say it's the people that put nasty uses to things.
Yeah.
The plant is simply protecting its leaves
Yeah.
from destruction. And then up here we've got this bin, flowers for 10 months of the year and stops in the summer. Brownie, it's quite it's an unfortunate name for a rather attractive plant.
Just the look of walking in here. It's Jessup. It's so...
The kids, in fact, I think the gracious compliment we were ever paid. I took a bunch of kids in there one time, and one little boy said, "Wow, you know what, miss, this is better than football." Like, oh my God!
I'll need to find out how many in the class have actually been to the Botanic Gardens, because I don't know. I don't know if they have or not. But the guys playing today, I think they do a lot of the parents. I remember
Bring them
some
through.
editors in class that came with the teachers, so they were maybe like take them out. So
That's right, so
but
they'll
I'd
do
be
that.
I'm interested to see if they have been here. The boy that just moved to my class and he's from St. Charles Primary.
Oh, right, yes, I've been over there
He
to talk to them.
might have.
You might have been here with the teacher. Now, we've got a series of environments here. This one at the very end is quite a small one about British bogs. Now, we've actually had to take part of it apart because it's not done too well. However, we did have a whole series of lichen there, but believe it or not, it got too wet. And there's a really interesting story associated with Glasgow.